Coach's Corner. It's so great to have everyone here. As you see in the chat, we're just sharing some ideas of just something you aim to do when traveling, vacationing, or on the go. It might not always be perfect, and that's okay. Just what's a goal or what you aim for. A lot of it is trying to exercise and keep that movement going. Sometimes it's eating healthier or trying to maintain that healthier choices when it comes to food. But as we get going here, my name is Kelly, and then we have Jimmy along today. We're so excited to talk about eating healthier, being more active, and naturally boosting those endorphins when traveling. Right now tends to be a very prime vacation time. So this discussion, however, is for anyone, anytime when you're on the go, trying to incorporate some fun activities, things also just into your daily life, just to make it feel a little bit like a vacation or something new, and get those endorphins going. So Jimmy, let's get started off with activity. When you're on vacation, are you more of a complete chill type of traveler, or do you stay active like you are now?
Well, I think there's probably, I can make an argument for both being chill or active here. I've actually done both where I've done that. For the argument for being chill, you can always say, hey, listen, I got 51 other weeks to where I can come back and I can exercise and I can get myself back into shape here. Plus, you're also letting your body rejuvenate and just do something different that it normally doesn't do and just rest. And then sometimes when you do that, you can come back a little stronger. But I do find when I do just rest and I come back from vacation, I might come back a little stronger. My endurance is very short, so it almost takes about another week for me to maybe even get back to where I was before vacation. I know people here in Memphis, what they have a tendency to do is they can work extremely hard all the way up until the vacation. And then when they go on vacation, I won't see them for the rest of the year, and it's kind of like that cycle here. So that's kind of one of the reasons we wanted to come up with this topic is like, well, how can we also, one, is maybe meet a good balance when we're on vacation, and then also maybe just not fall into that trap of, well, vacation's over with. I'm just going to go back to just doing what I did before I started working out here. So that's what we're going to try to topic here or hit the topic here today. So yeah, so coming back well rested, that's one thing. You might come back just a little bit stronger, but it might take you just a fewer days to kind of get back to where you were. But then I know sometimes I've actually been on vacations to where I don't do my full workout. I maybe do at least one round of exercises to where I at least get those muscles active, and then I can still go on about my day and enjoy the vacation. So it's kind of like building that balance. You're getting both things here. You are getting your exercise in, but you're not like doing your full workouts, and you're also able to still enjoy your vacation. Now, when I do that, I can come back to work and I can actually just hit the ground running. And I can just, like, if I have to teach, I know one time when I came back, I had to teach a boot camp class on my first day back. So that's one of the reasons why I kept exercising during the vacation, because I knew I was going to come back for that here. So and also I know with me, I'm about to be 56. I don't want to come back and injure myself either here, where I hadn't exercised and then I try to come back and just do what I was doing, and then I wind up injuring myself and just kind of sidelining myself for a couple of months as well. So that's also, I'm being conscious of my health here, so to speak. So.
I think, like you touched on too, it's just that consistency, and it's not necessarily the intensity of having to keep that intensity
Absolutely.
and doing all that. But there's, even if it's just 10 minutes, I do that with any behavior you want to keep. It's that consistency, even if it's like just a little bit of fruits and vegetables or a short workout. Even if you're at home, it's that consistency of like, well, I came to the gym, maybe it was 5 minutes instead of 30 or an hour, but you just stay in that habit.
And
How
it
about
gives you gives you a chance to do something just a little bit different also when you're on vacation, as opposed to
mhm,
just doing the same old thing that you usually do, with your workouts here, So you might get to go hiking or even rock climbing or just whatever you're doing.
yeah.
So yeah.
Do you catch up on sleep? I see in the chat a lot of people love sleep, and when we were starting off, I was like, oh yeah, sleep is my love language. I love
Now,
napping
if
and
it's
catching up on
if
sleep.
it's a staycation, I'm getting a nap every day here. All right, So, but if it's a vacation, if I'm somewhere, or a lot of times I go to a Comic Con or something like that, you're not getting any sleep during those Comic Cons here. So,
Great.
so,
How
but
how about
yeah,
your
so
how about your nutrition when you're traveling? How's that typically?
yeah. I try to take, well, once again, I try to make a balance here. Okay. So I'll try to eat a good breakfast and a good lunch or a light lunch, but then on supper, I'll try to just maybe just have whatever I want to have here. So once again, I'm trying to meet as about once again, when you're on vacation, you also want to enjoy it as well here. So if
Hmm.
there, I don't want to deny myself anything on vacation, because once again,
Right,
we don't know if we're going to be able to go back on vacation or not here. This could be the last one,
right.
so we don't know that. So you just try to meet that balance here. So I try to keep the lunches real light. I'll always try to take like some protein bars and water with me wherever I go for lunch. And usually the hotels always have something there for breakfast that you can always eat here. So, but a good breakfast, a good lunch, and then something moderate here at supper time here. So, but yeah. So, Kelly, now you just recently went to Europe, right?
Right? Yeah, my
So
daughter.
how did you maintain all of this here? So what did you wind up doing?
Yeah. Well, my daughter is studying abroad in Spain, and it helped that Kyle started the Fit and Fuel 75 like the week I was going pretty much. So what a great time to start a challenge. So for those that aren't aware of the Fit and Fuel 75, I think we're on day like 70 now. We're almost there, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Uh, so probably like everyone else, you kind of start strong and kind of, but it was a great way to you set a goal each day to whatever your activity you want it to be. Maybe it's to be active and try to get outside as part of it. And then the other is you can do your own nutrition goal. And mine was getting more fruits and vegetables because although I feel like I eat healthy, I have a salad for lunch, I'm always focusing on getting protein in. So traveling, that helped having that fit and fuel just because there was two goals, a nutrition goal and an activity goal. So those days I was flying a lot, even though I'd walk the airport, I was like, okay, let's get some fruit and vegetables. So at least I was succeeding in one of the areas. Or if I was being more active and going out, I wouldn't feel as bad if I wasn't getting all the fruit and vegetable. But it definitely made me stay on track with just ordering. I'm like maybe it would be pizza, but I get a side of asparagus. So and then you tend to like fill up on those vegetables, so you don't tend to overeat on the other things. And the other thing that I did, which was really different for me, was I went to the Azores on my way to go see my daughter. So my husband's a teacher, and then we have a son who just graduated high school, but this was in May. And so he was coaching track, my husband, and teaching, so he can go along with me. I really been wanting to go to the Azores, and I'm like, well, it's right next to Spain. If you look on a map, it's pretty far out, but it was on the way somewhat. And I was there for 4 days alone. And I think just trying something new. And then I stayed in a hostel, and it wasn't to save money. It was just because I didn't want to be alone at night and isolated in a hotel. And a friend of mine, neighbor friend, was like, that's exactly what I want. That sounds like heaven to be alone in a hotel. So it all just, you kind of have to depends on like what you want, what you like. I wouldn't stay in a hostel probably in a big city, and I haven't stayed in a hostel since right after college. This was the first time, but I used to work at a hostel after college, and it was just fun. I felt like I was at camp. I met so many people. I was in an all female dorm. It was safe. It was beautiful. And then every day I did a tour, something active, either biking. I did a canyoning tour, which was amazing because I ended up in a group of 5 women that were celebrating somebody's 30th birthday from Lisbon. And
Wow.
so you just like get out of your comfort zone, meet other people. It was, yeah, I try not to over like celebrate how great it was to travel alone in front of my husband and kids. But it was really just refreshing, like to not have to be anywhere or choose. I had so much time on my hand. I walked a lot, so much hiking, and would, yeah, it was just great. So I think that's something to be said is just getting out and doing something new and different. And whether it's
Absolutely.
like at a resort that you go to, if it's out like snorkeling or canoeing, just, or even trying a new restaurant, even if you're around your own home or area and you're not traveling, there's a thing called time. It's called like a time expansion hack. So your brain really compresses life when it's repetitive. So that's why things go so fast when you do the same thing
Yeah.
over and over. You're just
Yeah.
like, I don't remember
Yeah.
driving to work. You're like what I pass. Um, so to slow down time, you're supposed to try new things like often. So like taking a different route, which I would never take a longer route to work. I'm always right, like at the getting it right on time. But but
Same
maybe
here.
like if you're on, doing an errand, just even taking another side street, seeing some different houses or things. Even too, like where you take your meetings, if you're working from home, maybe if you don't need double screen, just change space, go outside. Or if you meet at work and are always sitting in the same seat, maybe change it around. It just makes time seem different and slows down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just your brain has to store more details, so it makes time feel a little bit longer.
Gives a meaning to, variety is the spice of life here. It kind of gives it right, it's exactly what you're trying to do here, and you're so right about time being so compressed when we do the same things over and over and over. It's just kind of like what your daughter was saying, or Jill's daughter was saying. It's like, oh my God, all I do is just work and I eat and then I go to bed and I come back to work here again. Sometimes it can actually feel like that. So once again, that's why we want to make sure, like when we're on vacation, we actually get to do different things and enjoy these things because we'll get to remember it. And it also motivates you to get back to maybe doing that again for the next year or whenever next time you're going to go on vacation as well. It's like, that was so much fun. I want to save up and I want to do that all over again. So, or do something different. So, yeah, you got to have that variety,
Yeah.
to sometimes even get you out of bed in the morning too. So,
Yeah, and I think too, like with talking about like those natural endorphins, like when you're in a new situation, you're more alert, but also like if you're out in fresh air and like laughing, typically when we're on vacation, hopefully there's more laughter and you're engaging with other people around loved ones or people you want to be. So I think like laughter is a big one too, of just like
absolutely.
not being so serious, taking time away to not be so serious, because I know here at Medtronic, it's serious work. There's a lot of
Yes.
pressure and there's big projects going on. So it's a good chance just to decompress and sometimes sleep. Like people are writing, it's not necessarily like you have to sleep your whole vacation, but just being able to sleep in, not setting an alarm and really listening, tuning into your body. Sometimes sleep is more important than activity. And I know we're both like in the fitness industry, so we're probably going to be a little bit more active on vacation typically, but I can be as lazy as the next person.
Oh,
I'm very
same
good
here.
at sitting still, sitting by the pool. I just think I
Same here.
tend to just try to do something a little active in the morning, and then I'm like, all right, can chill the rest of the day. But I
Absolutely.
like to explore and see other things, but it's not like I'm full out running or doing. I rarely lift on vacation. I just try to be more active.
Yep. Same here. I'm an extremist here. I can go be all in or I am all out here. Very rarely do I get
Right.
right here in the balance there.
I
So, but
know moderation in anything is always so tough. Everybody always says moderation, but that's tough.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
we are getting to our time. We're happy to stay on. Love to hear if anybody's had like a fun trip or something different they've done, or kind of just any healthy tips that you get that you have to share. I'd love to hear from you. I also have the snackle box because Kyle found this when he was researching the Bon Appetit site, and it's really cool. So you take a, I've just put in the chat. So you take this tackle box, and it's great, especially if you're going to picnic or on a boat. And then you can pack your own healthy snacks to share, and it's so cool. And it's so much cheaper than a wood board, and like transporting charcuterie is really tough. So I think this is a great idea. So that's one thing. But if anyone has anything else to share, wants to stick around and talk, we're happy to stick around. Otherwise, thanks for joining in. And next session, we are going to be talking about heat and cold therapies.
Ooh, something I need a lot of interest in here, so
Ooh, that's great. Yeah, some people like who is this? Lauren said she went on vacation to the Philippines, ate lots of new foods. It is, and
yes.
then new beaches. Like it is so. China foods is amazing, and they always taste better when you're somewhere else, and when someone else makes it for you, it's always better.
Yeah, I went to one of the beaches there in the Philippines years ago, and it was one of the prettiest ones. I mean, white sand, clear water. It was just something you see on the postcard here. Boracay, I believe, was the name of the place here that I went, and you'll never forget it.
Yeah,
Also went snorkeling there too. That's a very good, nice, relaxed exercise to do. You just get to see something beautiful while you're snorkeling here. But you're actually moving and getting some exercise in. So it's just a beautiful, relaxing way to
yeah.
enjoy yourself here. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you're not really, it's hard to be distracted when you're snorkeling or scuba
exactly,
diving.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Same if you've tried surfing. I've had lessons. I'm horrible, but you're just concentrating on
yes,
a technique and ways. So yeah, James, if you
and get a
do make
tan
a
too.
snackle box, please take a picture. We should do that, a snackle box competition. Yes, I know. Get a tan too. Lauren, there's a thing I saw, somebody's like, I'm happier when I'm tan.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's it almost feels like my skin is smoother too when I'm tan here, for some reason, So yeah.
Oh, Kristen's tried the smaller version of the snackle box. Did your cat Phoebe get into it, Chris? Christine is in my virtual fitness, and her cat is always tends to be
Oh,
in the background. Yeah.
Well, my cats do not travel well, so they do not go on vacations with us, driving or flying. So the snackle box was all for us humans.
ah,
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. The vitamin D of being that is a good
yeah,
point.
there
I
you
was like,
go.
being tan makes me happy. They're like, I wonder if that's vitamin
Absolutely.
D. I don't know. I think it's also
Absolutely.
summertime, or I just feel like I look better in a tan. But
I've even heard some doctors even prescribe, go get a tan here. You'll feel a lot better in the wintertime, or they even recommend the tanning beds sometimes here.
no, don't say that.
So just the ones that
Now we're gonna have to
just the
have a
ones
whole
that had,
thing on skin cancer and sun care.
that
Yeah,
was a long time ago
moderation.
here, but that was a long time ago when they used to recommend
Yeah,
that here. So
I
but yeah,
know.
so
It is tough. Like in Minnesota, you get the sun in the summer, so you get that vitamin D, but winter you need the pills. But then I had a doctor telling me like, okay, don't stop the vitamin D. You just kind of get used to always taking it. They're like, you don't need it
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so vitamin D before the prescribed 30-minute daily
Yeah,
walk.
see,
Nice.
30-minute
Yeah.
walk. Yeah. hmm and
Yeah.
sometimes you're even still getting that vitamin D, even with the clouds are out here, it's still coming through, a lot of times as well, so it doesn't always have to be like a sunny day,
Right.
so yeah,
Yeah. And it's just so great to get that fresh air, like in the winter. If
absolutely.
you have a winter, depending where you live, it's like definitely wakes you up. And, as we always say, there's no bad weather. It's just bad clothing. So even on
Yeah.
vacation, if it's always raining, just get the stuff on, get out there.
Yeah. Well, we have a garage here. A lot of times, even when it's raining, I can just go walk the garage, and you're completely dry and everything like that. But also, it's an emotional thing as well. It clears your mind just going for a walk and just getting away for things for a few minutes as well here. So yeah. So if there's a will, there's a way. You can find it here. So
Yeah. And trying different routes. I tend to walk the same thing, but every once in a while I
mhm,
try a different route, and yeah, it's good for the brain. So
absolutely, absolutely.
Well, we appreciate everyone coming on. This is always a fun time for us to connect and see your ideas as well. So thanks everyone for joining, and I will be sending out the recording and information on the next one. So thanks
All right.
everyone.
All right. Thank you
See
for
you,
joining.
Jimmy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.